Are the police going to hurt me when I go out? What is marginalized? Are we marginalized, Mom? What is racism? What form of racism have you experienced before, Mom? Stay tuned for these questions and more on Africanada. Thank you to those who have subscribed to our channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Please click on that button and subscribe. Thank you. Happy Canada Day to all Canadians. Today is Canada Day, Canada Day 2020. And thank you so much, Canada, for having all of us here in a multicultural. So we live in this land and we call this place home. We have called here home for many years. My children have been born here. They go to school here. This is home. To my children, this is home. They sit in the classroom with children who are Caucasian, majority of them, and with different races, multicultural. They have had different teachers, but mostly Caucasian teachers. Yes, but in recent happenings, in recent race and racism and the topic of systemic racism, the children are seeing things on TV, they're asking questions, they want to know what, they want to know why. This is what today's episode is about. I'm here to talk about why it's necessary for us to do the talking now because they have questions. When my children were growing up, I remember two of my boys, one in particular would be asking, why is my hair not flowing to the side? Why is my hair not falling down when I put my hand through it? So his hair is kinky, he says it's not falling down, it's not soft, he wants to know why. We put wave inside and stretch and made it softer for him for a bit. I think we continued that for about a year and a half to 2 years. And I was guilty a bit. I figured, no, it has to stop. That's not who he is. His identity is an African. His identity is not the hair that flows to the side. Another question that I remember one of my girls asking why her skin was not pink. And I would say, no, you have a chocolate skin, all right? And I want to keep you all to myself. I love your chocolate skin and I want to keep it all to myself. And so I kept on repeating that to her and she loved it. She loved the fact that her skin was chocolate and mommy loves it. After doing this for about 2 times, she stopped asking the questions about why her skin is not pink. The children have questions. And I know most of us parents, including me, have failed to recognize that the time to talk to our children about race, racism or systemic racism or prejudices and biases is now. When they do come to you asking questions, it means they want answers. It means they are worried. It means something is not sitting right. And if something is not sitting right, we need to make it right. Because that, by not making it right, it affects the mental health or the mental conditioning of our children. So we need to always answer the questions. We need to deal with it and make it right for our children to be able to function properly. 2 weeks ago, knowing that the late George Floyd was killed by a police officer, one of my children was asking, Mommy, would the police hurt me when I go out? I thought that was a simple question. Reasonably, I said, no, the police is not going to hurt you. I said no because I know my boy, that he's a good boy. But later on, I realized that there's more to that question, and I need to say more than I did. And so what I said to him was, when you go out, try not to do the wrong thing. When you are with a group of friends, try to do the right thing. I added to the answer, and yet I still saw the complexity of the question that he asked. How often do we see young black men being wrongfully accused? The system has worked against young black men. Majority of them wrongfully accused or harshly accused or harshly treated by the system. So the question, though seemed so innocent, was quite complex and loaded, that the question needed more clarification so my boy can understand the complexity of it. So with all this entanglement and complexities of our time, another child also asked the question, Mommy, what is marginalized? Are we marginalized? So I had to explain to her also what marginalized is. So I said to her, marginalized is when you deserve something, but somebody sees you as not deserving. They see you as less capable. They see you as not deserving certain rights. Let's say you go to look for work and you've gone to school for this job. You are fully trained to do this job. And yet they are seeing you as less capable or less deserving of the job. Then we can say you are being marginalized. It's a form of racism. This leads me to the last question that the children asked. What is racism? And what type of racism have you encountered? I said to them that it's unfortunate that racism, it's usually in the mind of somebody. Somebody's biases or prejudices, thinking that you are less and they are more. Thinking you are inferior and they are superior. It is wrong. You are made and created equal just like anybody is. Mommy, what type of racism have you experienced? I said to them, racism can come anytime. People have different ideas and mindset and thoughts about how you behave and how you act. I gave them the story about me traveling from here, Toronto, to Thunder Bay. Sitting in the plane to go to Thunder Bay, I started feeling pain in a certain part of my body. Upon reaching Thunder Bay, the pain persisted. So the next day, I decided to go and see a doctor. I spoke to the supervisor at the conference and asked permission to go see the doctor. I sat in the waiting room. I was called inside. And when I was called inside, I saw people come and go for over an hour and a half. I was still sitting in the waiting room. And when I questioned it, I questioned why. Why are people coming and leaving when I'm still sitting here? The nurse went and told the doctor that I was asking questions why I'm still here. And the doctor got upset. The doctor walks in. But mind you that when I entered that hospital, I saw only one black person in that whole hospital. She was a Nigerian woman working in that hospital. When she saw me, she turned around and looked at me, and we looked at each other. I greeted her, she greeted me. I said hello, she said hi. She looked at me and wanted to say more, but she was working. She was on the job. So it was like a strange thing to her to see a black woman coming into this hospital that she barely sees a black person, right? So I sat in the waiting room, by the way. The doctor came in and asked me that I hear you are asking questions when you will be seen. And I said, yes, I wanted to know when I'll be seen. He said, you need to get out. And I said, I need to get out and go where? He said, I cannot look after you. And I said, is there a problem? He said, I just cannot look after you. You have to come out. And right then, I knew that that was wrong. I knew what he was doing was wrong. I knew that I was being marginalized. I knew that I was being given less than what I deserve. I should have questioned, but I did not. I walked out and I stood in the middle there. And the nurse came by and asked me what the doctor said. And I said, he said I should get out. And the nurse said, oh, okay, you can sit here. So she pointed to a bench. And it took another half an hour or so for them to call me in to see another doctor on the other side of the building. The experience was traumatic for me. And these are the type of things we need to tell our children. They need to hear these stories so when they are faced by it or when they face it, they are not traumatized. We can handle it. We have handled it. We don't want our children to experience this trauma. Racism can put some scars on you. Racism can make you feel inferior to who you truly are. Racism is wrong. So as we continue to tell our children these stories, let's not forget to let them also know that there are good and bad in every race. Not all Caucasian or people of European descent are bad. Not all Africans descent are bad. There are good and bad in every race. In telling our children these stories, let's not also forget to tell them how excellent they are. We believe in our children, we trust in them. And in telling our children these stories, let's not forget to also tell them how beautiful they look. And in telling our children these stories, let's not forget to tell them to always aspire for greatness in everything they do. If you haven't already subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Click on the subscription button and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching Afri Canada Hub. Bye-bye and happy Canada Day. Stay safe. Bye.